In today's video, we're going to discuss the shoulder turn in your golf swing. Make sure you check out this video. Welcome back to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today in the indoor studio. And today's video, as I mentioned there in the intro, is all going to be about the shoulder turns. This is really following a question I got: where should I be at each part of my golf swing? So I'm just going to be talking about what I'd class as rotational checkpoints, where your shoulders should be at different parts of the golf swing. This might sound quite technical, but I think by understanding this and just doing some simple at-home exercises, it could really help your golf swing. If you're new to my channel and you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. Hit the little bell icon, it just notifies you every time a new video goes live. Right now, we're going to jump into this one. So this video is really going to give you where you should be at different parts of your golf swing. And I would suggest practicing this in front of a mirror, patio window, or perhaps get it on camera. And we're just going to be discussing where the shoulders should be. It might not sound the most interesting topic, but it was a question I got from one of my followers, someone who subscribes to my YouTube channel, and something I wanted to answer. I think it could actually help a number of golfers. So I'm going to break the swing down into different positions and nothing overly complicated. So basically P1 is set up, P2 is where the club is at first parallel. These aren't my checklist checkpoints. These are just renowned as checkpoints in the golf swing. So first parallel of where the club gets to, okay? So the takeaway position. I would like the shoulders here to be rotated by about 35 degrees. The aim by the top of the backswing is about 90. But what I see with a lot of golfers is a big early shoulder turn with the club generally coming behind them and then lifting, and we see very little at the second half of the golf swing. So what I'm looking for by P2, club at first parallel, is the shoulders to be rotated by about 35 degrees. Now in all of these checkpoints, I'm not just looking at rotation this way, we are turning but on a tilted axis. So the bigger the coil effectively, or the turn, the more my lead shoulder should be moving down in front of me, the more my trail shoulder should be moving up and behind me. So we are rotating, but we're turning on that tilted axis, not just a horizontal turn. So we're looking for around 35 degrees by the time we get to P2. Okay, and this lead shoulder is starting to move down and in front of me. The next checkpoint would be left arm, or lead arm. It's left arm for me, but my lead arm that's closest to the target at first parallel to the ground. So that is at P3. And by that stage, I would expect to see up to 70 degrees of shoulder turn. Okay, again, what's happening because we're going from here to here is that lead shoulder is starting to work more down and in front of me. In fact, I'm going to turn and do it here just because I've got a mirror behind me. Nice for me to check as well. So P2, 35 degrees. If I get to left arm parallel, P3, around 70 degrees of shoulder turn. Okay, so I'm getting quite a bit here, and the lead shoulder is moving more down and in front of me. P4, which is the top of the golf swing, I like to get up to 90 degrees. If you're more flexible, you may be able to get more than that. But 90 degrees, so our back fully turned towards the target, and my lead shoulder has moved downwards by about 4 inches. So I always use a checkpoint. If I put something like a marker, I've got a box of T-pegs here, 2 to 3 feet past the golf ball. I'd be looking to try and get that to point down at that point. So my lead shoulder's moved down and it's clear of my chin, not moved up here towards me. Okay, so lead shoulder's moving more down, trail shoulder moving more up. Quick checkpoint again. So it was 35 degrees by P2, about 70 degrees by the time we get to P3, left arm parallel, 90 degrees at the top. Now, the next checkpoint would be P5, when our left arm is parallel to the ground on the downswing. That's the point where we're really starting to unwind, and actually I'd expect our shoulders a little bit more turned back to the target than they were on the backswing. So here I was 70 degrees in the backswing. By the time I get to the same position on the downswing, I'd expect to be closer to 60. So my shoulders are really starting to turn. There's an increase of speed, there's an increase of rotation, but rotation towards the target. So I was going to say unrotation, which I don't think is a word, but we're starting to unwind, perhaps is what I was looking for there, where we've got 70 degrees here, 90 degrees at the top. We're getting to around 60 degrees, 55 degrees. So we're unwinding in the downswing when my lead arm is parallel on the downswing, okay, at P5. P6, where the club is at parallel to the ground. I would like to get the feeling that I'm close to square zero. The reality is I'd probably be at about 10 degrees, so my shoulders would still be pointing for me as a right-handed golfer slightly to the right. But if we could really unwind at this stage, we could get pretty close to being square, parallel zero, which would be a great feel for us when we're doing those exercises. And then into impact here. Okay, so P7 is impact. I would like my torso to actually be a little bit open. So for me as a right-handed golfer, pointing more to the left. So we're starting to unwind. And what we've done in the backswing with our lead shoulder moving down and our trail shoulder moving up, we're undoing in our downswing. So look what happens as I start to unwind. The trail shoulder starts to move down. Eventually the lead shoulder will start to move up. Okay, coming into and post impact. So the lead side is moving down and in front of me in the backswing. On the downswing, the trail shoulder and side is moving down towards the golf ball, which gets the lead side moving up. So that means I'm really maintaining my spine angle. What we do not want to see is this sort of movement where we're up and out of posture. So just doing some slow exercises using a mirror, using a patio window where you can see how much you're getting in a shoulder rotation, but also making sure you're turning on that tilted axis that is not just a horizontal movement. So P2, 35 degrees. That is club first parallel, left arm first parallel here. So P3, around 70 degrees, 90 at the top. Unwinding, we're unwinding a little bit more. So our shoulders are back to about 55 to 60 as we come down to left arm parallel on the downswing, P5. P6, so club parallel to the ground, we're getting close to square zero if we can, and we're trying to get open into impact, okay? We could talk about what happens on the through swing. What I'd really like is our body to keep rotating as much as we can, and actually we'd see where the club gets to parallel here, P8, that our chest is rotated quite well open, a good 60 degrees, and a full 90 by the time we finish our golf swing. So there is a big rotation towards the target. Let me hit one more. I could just do a nice slow one for you. Showing you what we're trying to get in terms of the feeling. You can see I'm moving open into impact. So I don't expect this to be a swing thought for you, but it could really be a great way to do some slow at-home exercise to improve the shoulder turn. Remember to use that term quite loosely. It is turning on that tilted axis. So we are looking for those checkpoints of how much rotation, but making sure that we're doing it while we're maintaining posture in a tilted position. If this video has helped, as I mentioned at the start, hit the thumbs up, share it with as many golfers as you can, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys again soon.